Remember, there are countries like Japan which don't have oil, they don't have minerals. They've just got clever people, scientists, who make cars and we the stupid people buy them. The clever people make cars all time, Mitsubishi, Toyota, all the clans of we are. This time we are going to start taking advantage of our oil because our oil will start flowing this year. When I was flying all over the place, I was passing over the pipeline. It is reaching Hoima, and very soon we shall start pumping the oil. We don't want our country to be like Libya. So all the traitors, this is free advice from me, that please stop what you're doing, because we know everything, and you will not do it. Either peacefully or unpeacefully, we shall maintain peace in Uganda. So poverty, we must end poverty. All these homesteads must get out of poverty, this 30%. Because it is that poverty which opens them up for all this manipulation. Now, these opposition are even some of the NRMs are abusers of our people. One of the plans was to get money from outside and give bribes to voters. What is the bribe? 10,000 shillings per voter. Now, I don't know what 10,000 shillings can do. Can it buy a fish? Can it buy one fish or something? What can 10,000? Can it buy a hen? So you give a bribe of 10,000. This is an insult. But our people, because they are poor, they can accept it. So that's why, in order to stabilize the country, we must end poverty.
Hello, Africa brothers and sisters. Can we say this is an insult from President Yoweri Museveni to the people of Africa, that clever people are manufacturing things and goods? We, black people, Africans, we are just sleeping and buying. Is it true that we are stupid? So family, join with me in this video where we are going to hear some words delivered by President Yoweri Museveni after being re-elected as a president of Uganda for the 8th term. Here is what Museveni said.
And therefore we shall have money to deal with the infrastructure, to deal with the railway, to deal with the power stations, to deal with some of the roads, not all the roads, because I don't want the oil money to be spent on these things which are not long-lasting. I want to put the oil money in the railway, which will last a long time, and in the power stations, and in science education. So that, because this, when Traoré went to Hoima, he said, no, we should share this money and we eat it. We should share the money and eat it. So Asimo rang me, said that Traoré has confused our people. He said that when he's president, all the oil money will be shared. And we shall eat it, all of it. I said, don't worry. When I come, I will expose Traoré. Don't worry. Don't compete with him in talking nonsense. Don't try to say that because he was saying that he will give the local governments. He thought this was a good campaign strategy. He will give the local government, is 20% or what? Yes, I'll give you 20%. Of course, when they hear 20%, they become, oh yeah, oh yes. So when I went to him, I said, you people, this oil is not comparable to agriculture. agriculture, manufacturing, and science education are more durable resources than this oil. Because this particular oil, the one we are talking about now, will last only 20 years. We may find other oil, we are looking for other oil within the Albert Valley, but also in other areas like Karamoja, like Chiemkwanzi. We are looking for more oil, even Lango there. We are looking for more oil, we may find it. But this particular one will last only 20 years. So what will happen after 20 years? So therefore, if you care about your country, the oil from this oil, the money from this oil, which is exhaustible, should be used to do things which will be there for a long time. Not just to, because if we say we share, we give more to, what will the local government people do with the money now? Pay allowances to themselves. That's the end. Will they invest in something long term? What will it be? What will it be? So, and the Banyoro are not stupid people. They listened, and you saw how they voted massively. They ignored the nonsense because I was able to explain to them. So this oil is coming. It will really help us to deal with the railway, deal with the power stations, deal with science education, so that we really have, because remember there are countries like Japan which don't have oil, they don't have minerals, they've just got clever people, scientists, who make cars and we the stupid people buy them. The clever people make cars all the time, Mitsubishi, Toyota, all the clans of like you say, Avente, bakore motoka. Abo Rugaveni bakore motoka. Rugaveka, Nteka, Mporogomaka. These are the Japanese cars we are buying. They are clan names. Each clan is making a car. And we, the sleeping people, are buying Toyota, what do you call these, the big ones? Land Cruiser, is this what you was? All those they are Japanese people who are very clever, selling to people who are asleep. So, we want our young people to master science. They have started. You have seen how they have made the Chira vehicle, the Chira car, and the bus, and the pickup. Our people are now making the electric motorcycles. They're making them here. The other day they gave me 1,000 of them. Secretary should tell me where I should put those. I should give them either to the youth or who? The youth. Tanga. Let's start with the youth. Because they gave me 1,000 donation.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, family, brothers and sisters. You heard a lot from President Yoweri Museveni. Museveni has spoken many things, but I would like to focus on few things that Museveni has touched. Of course, Museveni is too old, but I see still has conscience. Museveni has spoken the issue of destabilization. He said that he don't want Uganda to be like Libya after Uganda discovered the oil. We know resources in Africa sometimes looks like is something like bring conflict. It's not a blessing in many parts of the continent. When we discover resources, it is not just a blessing, it is a source of conflict. So Museveni said, I don't want to see Uganda to be like Libya. After discovered people are being paid to destabilize through political parties, through elections. And of course, I've been saying this many times. If you are familiar with me, with this platform, and that's why I didn't focus much on election in Uganda, because I know that election in Africa is something that don't give leaders that we want. Of course, maybe we have leaders who are in power, but majority of these political leaders are puppets. Majority of them are being sponsored by the West to destabilize our mother continent of Africa. And that's why you see, for instance, in Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré banned all political activities, not because maybe he hates democracy, no, because he knew very well that democracy is a tool used to destabilize our countries, especially in African continent. So, you know, the challenge here is poverty. We Africans, of course, we are not clever, as Museveni said. We have resources, but we have failed to translate or to add value to these resources. And this creates poverty to us, the people of Africa, despite we have resources. And when someone comes from outside and bribe us, give us small amount of money, we see that this man is a savior. We Africans, what we need to do right now, especially those who went to school, we need them to apply their knowledges. Some are saying that they're not given opportunities. No, it's not true. We have seen in a short time in Burkina Faso, President Traoré has built roads more than 50 kilometers already covered with, already paved. And those who are working there are not Westerners, are not Chinese, Russians, are the people of Burkina Faso. It is possible. So we need light leaders, leaders who are big thinker. And the problem that we have when a country wants to move out of poverty, these powerful nations always use people within a country to undermine development. We have seen in many African countries. You see people saying there is no democracy, there is no this. So people spend a lot of time in the street trying to protest, to do things. And you know, one thing that these people are doing, they control economy. We know very well that these people control economies because we Africans, we are not producing goods. We are importers. They raise the cost of things, goods. So when people trying to buy some basic needs, they found that they cannot afford. And if citizens cannot afford to buy basic needs, people see that the government has failed and see that this government is bad, and people being mobilized and sometimes organized to go into the streets to protest. And one bad thing that when these people are protesting, they destroy infrastructures. So we have taken loan from IMF and the World Bank to build some infrastructures. When people demonstrating or protesting, they distract all those things. Even if the road was built yesterday, even if bridges or buildings are being built yesterday, Africans destroys those equipment, those infrastructures. So we pay back loans for nothing. And that's why you saw President Museveni insisting that there is a need for the people of Africa, of course, in general, to eradicate poverty. Poverty is the source of all these things. But it doesn't mean that we Africans, we are poor. No, Africans, we are not speaking with one voice. Africans, we are not united. Africa, we are divided. These political parties and these democrats, whatever we call it, these are the source of division. And that's why you see the same country, the same people, they fight each other. Ugandans are fighting each other because they differ. Someone is with Bobi Wine, someone is with President Museveni. They fight each other, but they forget that they're Ugandan. Before the coming of these political parties and these things we call democrats, these people are one. But we Africans, we need, of course, even more education about civic. Of course, we need patriotic education and civic education to understand that despite we have these things that are coming, but we remain as Africans, we remain as the people of Africa. Yes, we need human rights. Yes, we need democracy. Yes, we need political parties. But at the end of the day, if you go to the basics, we are one people. That's what we need to do. Also, Museveni has spoken the issue of East African community, that he's spoken with President Ruto, President Samia, and other leaders to see how they can expand the market. You know, we are talking about poverty. We cannot eradicate poverty if we are still having these boundaries. Why don't we accept African leaders, accept that you, President Museveni, you remain with your territory, your Uganda. You, Ruto, will remain with the land of Kenya and Samia, Tanzania, whatever. But let us allow free movement of people and goods. We have policies. We have security forces. Why don't we find a way that people can move freely from one place to another? You know, people may always rely on security issues, that if you allow people to move free, goods to move free, sometimes people are shifting and moving weapons and something like that. But we need to increase inspection on borders and something like that, because these people who are sometimes destabilizing our motherland, our continent, they are passing freely. They are not being even asked for visas, because they know if they will pass through the gates and these border checkpoints, they will be inspected. They use another ways. So these borders and these checkpoints are for the good people. Bad people are not using these checkpoints. They cross, they find another ways until they reach to the destination. So I think we need, as Africans, to understand that these borders, these checkpoints are not for bad people. These things are for good people. Good people are the ones who are being affected and delayed in these checkpoints. So leaders need to wake up. President Museveni, your handhelder of East Africa and Africa in general, let us convene a meeting. Talk about unity, talk about united Africa. Talk about the free movement of people and goods. Speaking on social media, speaking on with maybe this press conference speeches will not change anything. What we need is actions. We want President Museveni to convene a meeting, calling fellow leaders and say from now and then you can come free from Uganda, but you need to have a passport, or not just a passport. We need to have our own electronic ID so that we can understand who are you, and we can search through the systems and get some details of you. That's what we want to do, and what we need as Africans. And as I conclude, Museveni has spoken the issue of railway. Of course, we need to build railway. I have seen in Tanzania, they are doing very well. Kenya, the same. In many African countries right now, they have understood that there's a need for Africans to build railway. These roads last no longer. We have roads that is sometimes being distracted within short time. We need a railway where goods can be transported, heavy goods and resources can be transported through our railway. And this railway, we want railway that are connecting people, not railway that are taking people outside. Taking resources to the ports to Europe. No, we want railways that are connecting cities, townships, so that Africans can move freely from one place to another. If you look, our infrastructures still is colonial infrastructures. Africa is still suffering with colonial infrastructures. If you look, many of our infrastructures, it's just an outlet, taking resources from mainland to the sea or to the ocean, to the port, for those goods to go to Europe. So how can we eradicate poverty while goods and services, minerals in low forms, are being exported? When we export minerals or resources, we export jobs. And these people remain in poor or still in poverty. And if they remain in poverty, don't expect that when someone will bribe them, they will deny. No, they will accept because they have no other means. But all in all, we need to educate our people. We need to wake up as Africans, special leaders, those who have responsibilities to change minds and to change people, whether in schools, whether in meetings, they have to do so. We need to train our people and to make them believe that they can do something. They can change. It doesn't mean the car must come from Europe or from Japan. Even the car can come from Uganda. Car can come from Burkina Faso. We have seen in Burkina Faso, within 1 year of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso manufactured their own cars. Burkina Faso has its own car. The people of Burkina Faso, they have succeeded to have their own cars. Why not in Uganda? You have oil, but you are talking about exporting of oil, but you are not talking about powering industries. Yes, you don't have capital. You need to sell the oil so that you can get money. It's good, but we need to go beyond that. We are the main exporters instead of consumers. Let us wake up. Let us come together. And Museveni himself cannot achieve it. He needs support from his people, from Africans in East African community and other places of the continent. The way we want Africans to support Traoré. So family, brothers and sisters, let us not speak for too long, but I'm very happy and delighted to talk with you, to share my thought with you about what Museveni has said. It is good and it is constructive ideas so that if we Africans will start eradicating poverty and manufacturing and add value to our resources, I think Africa will move in the right direction. So if you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. I'm speaking from here in my motherland, my homeland here. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice time.
Thank you, Africa.